I'm coming to you live from Colombo, Sri Lanka, and we're going to be discussing the Lakers and T-Wolves game and the Clippers and Nuggets game. We might touch on the Bucks and Pacers game at the end. But first, we will discuss the Lakers and Wolves game and see how that game went. So let's pull up the highlights.
Want to start a business? Start with an address.
And giving Los Angeles extra possessions to start this game.
Doncic sees two, pardon me. That was Anthony Edwards, saw two, got through the lane.
Austin Reeves had that shot right at the beginning, but so smart, taking it into the middle of the lane, drawing two and kicking it.
And Randall. Doncic off the dribble.
And giving Los Angeles extra possessions to start this game.
Doncic sees two, pardon me. That was Anthony Edwards, saw two, got through the lane.
Austin Reeves had that shot right at the beginning, but so smart, taking it into the middle of the lane, drawing two and kicking it.
And Randall.
And giving Los Angeles extra possessions to start this game.
Doncic sees two, pardon me. That was Anthony Edwards, saw two, got through the lane.
Austin Reeves had that shot right at the beginning, but so smart, taking it into the middle of the lane, drawing two and kicking it.
And Randall.
Yeah, I watched this game. It was 6 a.m.
Finney Smith checked into the ball game. Luka is on one right now to start this
the
game.
threes were just flying from the T-Wolves and also both teams that see the direction of where this game is
Another
going.
offensive rebound.
Basketball.
One of only 4 teams.
Belong to
You're talking about OKC,
really
Boston, and Cleveland as the other 3.
All 60-win teams as McDaniels hits the wing three to make it a 5-point lead for the Lakers.
Shot defense against the Lakers has been pretty good to start, but they've given up so many offensive rebounds.
Doncic is locked in. We're on a fish grease alert right now. He's up to 12 already here in the first quarter.
Using
Yeah,
him as a
Lakers
screener, then he
had a
just
really
pops
good
right
first
back
quarter,
out.
but they might have just
Reed
ran
with
out
a
of
classy
gas
move
after
to the
that first
basket.
quarter and 1 week off.
DiVincenzo
So
with the rebound. Edwards running the lane in full flight. Raises up and lays it home. That time they
bet
finished. Jay.
that
Well,
the
that's
Lakers
how he
come
can
back
get going
strong
a
in
little
game
bit.
2
Finch
and
makes the
after
call
having a little
offensively.
chemistry now after this game 1 and seeing how the Wolves
Edwards
play
steps
and
through
match
and
up
lays
with
it home
them.
on the
They
floater.
will come with their
Just parked in
adjustments
the corner for a step-in 3.
and have a good
Here's
show in
Randall,
game
cross
2.
court
But
to Alexander
I'm
Walker
happy
from
to
deep.
see
He's been
the
shooting it at
Wolves
over
really
40% this year.
give it
So
to
you
the
have to take away his
to the
left, but
Lakers
catch and
this
shoot
game.
opportunities. He knocks down those open ones.
Inside, Vando got his own miss.
The size
Vanderbilt back out to Finney Smith, open
of
from
the
deep.
Wolves really and rebounding ability really got to
by ESPN Bet Sportsbook with
the
Chris
Lakers.
Finch, the
And
head
I
coach
think
of the T-Wolves.
the
What did you
Lakers
make
do
of
the
that
same
first
for
quarter
the
for your
Games,
squad?
at
Yeah,
least
too many
against-
second chance
in this
points. I think they
matchup.
had 11 of them. That's really where they got a bunch of their cheap threes, and we did a good job in the first shot defense. Got to take care of that.
Doncic 16 in that first quarter. How do you try to limit his effectiveness?
Yeah, we're gonna throw different things at him, but again, we got to take care of the glass when we make them.
Chris, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
It's interesting that LeBron, for the first time in a playoff game, did not score in the first quarter. Boy, what a game a little bit earlier between the Clippers and the Nuggets. Reeves on the drive. Little giant killer, giant slayer over McDaniels. And speaking of drives, Alexander Walker into Randall. 10 on the shot clock. Back out to Reed for 3 for the lead. Got it. And Minnesota has
Three
stormed
started to
back
feel.
here in the
Right,
early
it
portion
started
of the
to
second
flow.
quarter.
Dunks this year.
Nas
for the
Reed was
Lakers,
really
but it
hitting
gives them
some
a little
shots
more
that
rim
was
protection with him in there.
really hurting the
McDaniels
Lakers.
left
But
that short, got it back, and laid it in over Hachimura.
Both freshmen together playing for Mike Hopkins.
this
who's now with
might
the
not be
Phoenix
the
Suns.
ideal matchup for the
James
Lakers.
spins, fires, got it, and
Not
one.
having a true big
LeBron
man.
James on the board. Good defense by DiVincenzo. Alexander
Jackson
Walker
Hayes
on the
is
fly.
not
James!
the big man you want in a game like this.
He knew that all the way, timed that out perfectly. Sees two, good nail help by LeBron. Raises up anyway, and it comes off. Back out to Reed for three. And Naz Reed laces the deep one. And Gobert got the block on James. Off and running again, a 3-on-2. Reed out to the three-point line. Splashdown. Timeout Lakers. Here's Edwards with 6 points in the ballgame. Facing Finney Smith. They shrink the floor on him. Randall on the drive. The kick to Reed. And another three ball by the reigning six-man of the year.
He's got the athleticism and strength to go through just about
The
anybody.
point
Go
where the
over.
Wolves started to pull away.
Here's the King with the ball. James out front against Reed. A long two is good.
There's
James
a
with
long
the
two.
rebound.
We need to
Another
bring back the
opportunity for
long
Los
two.
Angeles. 10 on the shot clock. Finney Smith. Back to James. Foul and one.
Mm.
And is the inbounder.
DiVincenzo. Here he is off the wide action, and DiVincenzo
This
holds
is the
it
killer.
and laces the deep three. Dante with some dynamite to end the first half.
Saw it live. It was a good show.
And they outscored the Lakers 20-10 in the paint and really shut off the offensive glass in that second quarter, where they outscored LA by 18.
Edwards sprays it out to McDaniels. The corner three is pure. Shot clock down to 5. Edwards got to get busy, got downhill. Floater comes off, got it back. Randall from deep, and they cash in on a second opportunity.
Reeves was 1 of 6 in that first half.
Randall, you
Minnesota
know,
went after him on the
happy to
defensive
see
end.
him do well.
Edwards, it's butter. Minnesota
70 to
on a
48,
roll.
baby.
They didn't
Wow.
score any fast break points in that first half, as you mentioned, Jay, and that they need to get back to being the aggressors. We've seen that certainly carry on here as LeBron James nails a three-pointer from the corner.
Yeah, the last time these two teams met, ironically, in the conference finals, Rudy Gobert converting on the high handoff. Back out to Edwards, one more to Randall. Got Luka in the air. Float game. Randall putting some muscle in his hustle.
You know, it takes some time after a trade for everybody to get used to one another.
They turn over Doncic. Connolly pulls the three, and it's all coming up good for the Timberwolves. 2 on the shot clock. Hachimura has to pull. And that's a great stop for Minnesota.
About as tough a 2 as you're going to take.
Off the dribble three.
Ooh.
Anthony Edwards,
Killer.
hotter than fish grease.
80 to
Doncic looking for
54.
the post up, and Reeves almost threw it away. He does. McDaniels,
Ooh.
and
This
Minnesota
is
has
just a
numbers.
messy game for
McDaniels
the
onto the
Lakers.
corner.
They just
Edwards
seem
sets
so
his feet.
disoriented.
Wet. That thing splashes again.
He had been just 2 of 19 from 3 in April.
Found his groove at the right time. So did this guy. Naz Reed connects again. Jay, I ask you, what has happened to the prolific production of Doncic that we saw in the first quarter?
Well, they're resolute on the offensive end. You've got a big lead here. You cannot be turning the ball over like that.
They just did. Here's James. Puts his shoulder down, put his head down.
The Lakers made it interesting at the end. I think at one point they were down by
Minnesota just playing
8
5 out.
in the fourth
And
quarter,
Austin
but
Reeves went
then
for another
they
shot
just
finish.
ran out of
Not
gas.
an easy one there. Somebody hit the snooze button defensively for Minnesota.
But
Back up to 19. Doncic has to work expeditiously and got it to go off glass at the buzzer. Crippling for the Timberwolves.
how you
Randall
end the
gonna do a
quarter
little
is
bit
how
more heavy
you start
lifting
the next
at that end of
quarter.
the floor.
The
Knocks down
Lakers
the
started
mid.
all right in this quarter. See, you
Luka
tell
trying
they were
to
down
press
by
up on
12
that.
only in this part of the game.
Pristine, pulchritudinous footwork.
But Anthony
Edwards
just
knocks down the
kept
midi.
coming.
Looked like it was going to be a little cross screen and then down screen for the screener, but he cut it short to get that 3.
Edwards off the bounce, spins, back out to a wide open
sick
Randall. Cash out. Got his air fryer out, ready to cook. Ant-Man gets it back, pulls the
Ooh.
3, and it's a
Boom.
win. Playing some of the best basketball of the season towards the end of the year. James drives the closeout and punches
Ooh.
it home.
Lakers now
Why the
looking like a
hell is
little
LeBron
2-3
pointing
zone.
at the
They did a
referee
lot of
like
that
that?
against Oklahoma City.
How entitled can you get?
McDaniels attacks it, got the short midi. Edwards, Hachimura. Edwards with the tween. Over to Reed, catch and shoot three on the way, and he laces another
Dagger.
one. Wow, and a little room
Is
service
that the dagger
off
or
the
is this
careless
the dagger?
pass.
Boom.
DiVincenzo flying charter. And the lead balloons back
Man,
to
I hope the
111 to
Wolves
90.
kind of
LeBron comes
sweep
with
the
the double and
Lakers. That
help.
would be good to see. But
Good
I
catch
know
by
the Lakers will
McDaniels.
get one.
Little sidestep, little afro step
I hope Shannon
into the
Sharp
paint.
Well,
is
they're outstanding defensively. The problem for Orlando is they haven't
still
been able to
optimistic
score
about his
efficiently.
Lakers.
Yeah. They really struggle at that end of the floor a lot of times as Dalton connects.
And for Minnesota, who only finished one game off of the Lakers, I mean, they had 49 wins on the season, but they finished the year 17-4. And when healthy, they've been as good as anybody.
Yeah.
So there you have it, guys.
Remarkable basketball game.
The Lakers
Minnesota
win
takes
by
game one.
22
They say that a
points.
series doesn't begin.
Whew.
I want to
All right.
start working for my
Let's
dream
see
job.
Skip Bayless's reaction to all this. And then we'll go over Shannon Sharp's reaction and everybody's reaction. Stephen A's reaction. Let's see what these guys thought.
What a weird night it was out here in LA. What a weird game played, and I put quotes around played, by the Los Angeles Lucas. One of the weirdest teams I've seen in a long, long time. There are certain nights that this team looks like it could win it all, could win the NBA championships. And there are other nights, right on schedule, when it looks like it doesn't even belong in the playoffs.
Like tonight.
That's the team that lost at home this year with Luka and LeBron to Charlotte when LeBron had two shots, two pretty open threes at the end of the game to force
Dude, why are you
overtime.
talking about the
and
Charlotte
LeBrick,
game
both of
right
them.
now?
This is the team that just a week ago Sunday went into Oklahoma City and blew my Thunder off the floor, off their home floor, the way nobody blew them off their home floor all year long. Though I will remind you that back on February, 24th, I watch every Thunder game. This one hurt. I watched the Thunder at home blow a 25-point lead to the Timberwolves while the coach Chris Finch benched Ant-Man in the game. Just benched him. Didn't like his effort, didn't like his body language, just benched him for most of the fourth quarter and almost all of overtime, though Ant-Man did suck it up and come back late in overtime. When he got a shot, he didn't pout. He had a huge late block on SGA, the runaway MVP, to close the deal on a game that the Timberwolves came back and won 131 to 128. What? That's what this T-Wolves team can do. It's actually very deep with lots of potential stars every night, and it doesn't just rely on Anthony Edwards. I'm still not ever sure about Anthony Edwards in the biggest games, biggest moments, but he played very well tonight, especially distributing, driving, dishing, kicking. Did have 9 assists. Shot it okay. He had 8 of 22, but he made 4 out of 9 threes. As the Timberwolves came into LA and made 21 of 42 threes. So, Laker Nation, if you want to just throw this one out with the garbage, just call it a night, lucky night for the T-Wolves, you can. But I think they just found themselves, found their confidence, and they found their unsung MVP. I remember all playoffs last year, after every game, especially that Minnesota won. Ant-Man raved about Jaden McDaniels. I want to call him Jaden Daniels because tonight he was even better than the rookie quarterback named Jaden Daniels, the Southern California product, who's often at Laker games. I didn't see him there tonight, but Jaden McDaniels was like Jaden Daniels, the rookie quarterback sensation, best rookie quarterback we've ever seen. Well, Jaden McDaniels in his, 4 years, played all 82 games, and did he ever play a game one of the playoffs? Did he ever do a number on Luka? Jaden was the MVP of this game, and as Ant-Man said after the game, I told him just go be the MVP. They're not going to think you're going to be aggressive, and what's the genius game plan on defense the Lakers have relied upon lately. Just take the star away, force the lesser lights to shoot it, and maybe they'll miss. Except tonight, they didn't miss. Everybody who touched the basketball in a key spot made, especially Jaden McDaniels, who made 11 of 13 shots. He went 25 and 9 rebounds, committed only 3 fouls while mostly guarding Luka. And Luka torched him in the first quarter. And is it possible Luka just shot himself out of the game in the first quarter? Is it possible he just ran out of gas? I never liked his fitness level. Tonight was the night that I said, oh, there's the guy that Nico Harrison traded. Dallas fans, are you listening to me right here, right now?
This past year, I've been enriching my playing as a gospel church pianist without the use of...
Look what just happened to the Dallas fans, are you listening to me right here, right now? Dumbest trade in the history of basketball. Look what just happened to the Los Angeles Lucas tonight in game one at home. Your new man, Anthony Davis, did score 40 last night at Memphis. Not bad. I didn't love his early energy. I didn't love the team's early energy. It looked like they were 1-2-3 Cancun. But AD did score 40. Luka did have 37 tonight, but he got 16 of them in the first quarter, in which he made 3 of 6 threes, and looked like he was on a mission to get Nico fired tonight. It looked like he was obsessed with showing Dallas fans, and especially Dallas GM Nico Harrison, this is what I'm going to do to you, for you, by you, get you fired because you had the audacity to trade me for Anthony Davis? Laker Nation, were you happy with Luka tonight? Well, you were for a while because it was 9-2 Lakers right out of the box. And Luka was out of his mind, possessed, obsessed, crazed. Mission. Watch this. And he scores 16 in the first quarter, 3 of 6 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. And then guess what he did in the second quarter? He scored 4. He made no field goals in the second quarter. He just made 4 out of 4 from the free throw line. Guess what happened in the second quarter, Laker and Maverick Nation? The Minnesota Timberwolves, the visiting team, won the second quarter at LA, out here in Hollywood.
This was the game changer.
At the Crypt. They put the Lakers in the Crypt. They won it 38-20. 38-20? Blew them off their floor, their home floor. And that was really it. That was ball game. It was an 11-point game at halftime. And then the T-Wolves proceeded to win every quarter. So Lakers won the first quarter 28-21, lost the second quarter 38-20. What happened to that genius defense, JJ? Then T-Wolves won the third quarter 35-30 and the fourth quarter 23-17, to win the game 117-95. So after that, Luka salvo in the first quarter of 16 points and a 28-21 lead. Wait a second. Wow. Then they scored only 20, 30, and 17 in the fourth? Really? They didn't even break the century mark tonight at home in game one. They only scored 95 points with LeBron freaking James on the floor. My God. LeBron had 19, but he had only, he was 8 of 18 from the field, had only 3 assists. Would you believe Luka had only 1 assist tonight? So it looked like Luka and LeBron, the game plan between those two basketball genii was your turn, my turn. You take the first quarter, I'll take the second quarter, and the game will be over at halftime. So 1 assist for Luka, who's a walking triple-double, and only 3 assists for LeBron, who certainly even in year 22 can certainly triple-double. It's highly possible. 1 assist and 3 assists. Interesting.
Still too lazy to learn AI? Watch others get ahead while you stay behind. Disappear for 1 month to become the most... So, Ant-Man said after the game, he said, we told Jaden that they're not going to, he kind of said it backwards, but he said they're not going to have any faith in him to be aggressive and shoot the basketball. So back to the new Laker genius defensive strategy, just ignore Jaden Daniels. And so, McDaniels, sorry, but that's how he played tonight, like Jaden Daniels. He is 6'9", and once he locked in on Luka in the second quarter and then the third and the fourth, he did the best job on Luka I've seen since Luka became a Laker, for sure. And then he scored 11 baskets in 13 attempts. He just kept getting in that he had 1 assist. Couldn't close. I'm overreacting. I'll go Lakers in 7 because it feels like it's going to take 7. Some trouble. I'm hanging in there of watch this. And they're also highly capable of watch that. Like, what was that? 117-95? What? Are you serious? Laker Nation, you're in some trouble. I'm hanging in there just because I picked it. My pride's on the line. But it ain't going to be in 5 like I said. After game 1, it feels like Lakers, I'm going to completely change my pick because of what I just witnessed, and I don't think I'm overreacting. I'll go Lakers in 7 because it feels like it's going to take 7. It felt tonight like that was real. That was the real live T-Wolves. JJ, you're going to have to play Jackson Hayes whether LeBron likes him or not. I think Luka loves him. They share an agent. He likes to play alley-oop with him. The T-Wolves are just too big with Gobert. Just too big across the front. Too strong, too physical. I mean, even Jaden McDaniels is 6'9". Man. Laker Nation, I think you're in some trouble. I'm going to hang in there, and I'm going to switch my pick because I have to, because I've got to eat crow. Congrats to Alex Rodriguez. I love Alex, know him. He's now one of the owners of this team. Saw him on TV back in the back, congratulating his players as they exited. What a start to this series. They say they don't start until the road team wins a game. Well, we started tonight. Whew.
Tough one, baby.
Here comes Jaden Daniels.
Jaden McDaniels is the star of this game, as Skip Bayless says. So let's go and see what Shannon the Shark Sharp had to say about the game tonight. All right. So let's go. let's see what's going on.
Events in the second quarter, you put so much pressure on the rim and created, and it's hard for you to support. Please make sure you go. Hey, check out shoot 84 with 84 being and don't want to miss over to look back after that, and they win 117-95. It was a balanced effort. You got 16 from Julius Randle, 25 from Jaden McDaniels, who was 11 of 13, 3 of 3 from the three. Ant-Man, he wasn't efficient shooting the ball, but he was dominant as his normal self. 22 points, and it was Naz Reid coming off the bench. 8 of 12 from the field, 6 of 9 from the three, 23 points. The Lakers, with the exception of Luka, nobody really played well. And in order for them to get back in this series, because the home team has lost home court in the first game, and normally that's not what you want to see, but they still got a ways to go. This is an absolute must on Monday night, Joe. They've got to get this game, but LeBron, AR, and they got to get some help from the bench. But watching this game, tell me, what did you see? What did you like about what you saw from Minnesota, and what didn't you like about what you saw from the Lakers?
I smell trouble for the Lakers, man. We've seen the Minnesota Timberwolves being in this position, knocking off teams, whether it was Phoenix, whether it was Denver. So, and man, he known to go in somebody else's building, steal some wins, play very effective basketball. Even though he didn't shoot well, I thought he put so much pressure on the rim and created so many other opportunities for other guys. But man, if you got Naz Reid and McDaniels gonna shoot like that from three,
you in trouble.
You're gonna be in trouble. It's gonna be hard for you to win that game. So, those guys were very efficient tonight, and they just outplayed the Lakers. The Lakers look lethargic. They just didn't. Outside of Luka having that great first run, outside of that, they looked like they were stuck in mud a little bit to me.
Yeah, they didn't match. They need to understand this is the playoffs. This ain't no regular season.
Yeah,
it's different. And they didn't come out. They came out really good in the first quarter, but that second quarter, and we know the Lakers, after watching them all year, Joe, they're gonna have a quarter where they take it completely off.
Yeah.
Now it's normally
I really want to see the Wolves beat the Lakers in Game 2, but I doubt that'll happen. The Lakers will make their adjustments, and it'll be a close game, or it'll be a blowout. The Lakers might just run the Wolves out of off the court, because a basketball playoff series is like a chess match. You make your adjustments, you just make your matchup adjustments, and then you come back with a different game plan. But the Wolves will be expecting that, so. I really hope, this is why I hope the Wolves win. I want to see Shannon Sharp's reaction then, because he's been saying Lakers in 5 all year. I don't know to what series, but I just want to see him kind of keep his mouth a little shut now, But let's see what else they got to say.
The third or the fourth quarter. It's not normally the first half. Yeah. It's normally they come out at the half or or the fourth quarter. But we saw this turn of events in the second quarter where they ended up giving up 38 points. After giving up 21 in the first quarter, they gave up 38, and then they gave up another 35 in the third quarter. So they gave up, 73 points in 2 quarters. Ocho, watching this game, what's your takeaway?
Listen, first off, the Lakers didn't come out and match the Wolves' intensity, huh? The intensity. Nope. Listen, on both sides of the court, there was no intensity. They didn't play defense very well. Nobody played well on the Lakers offensively outside of Luka. So if LeBron is off, then if LeBron is off and Luka's on, somebody else has to come. It got to be AR, it got to be Rui, somebody has to have some points collectively as a group if your starters aren't firing on all cylinders. Ant-Man doesn't have a good game. Hell, Reed comes off the bench and he cut the fool. McDaniel's playing well. It was just a bad game all around for the Lakers in general. And normally, when you have home court advantage and you plan at home, you don't want the away team to steal a game at home. You don't want that to happen. So they already put themselves out in a hole.
Football player talking.
So
about
Monday night, like you said, they got to have. If they lose Monday night's game, they're gonna be in a heap of trouble.
Hey, you see, it's hard to play Jackson Hayes when you switching all the pick and rolls and you ain't giving up them lob threats.
Yeah.
Pressure on the rim.
It is, and plus the thing, I think they're switching. They're too easy switching. I mean, as soon as the guy starts to show, they go ahead and switch it. No, bro, fight on the top. Don't give up. You copping out. You forcing out on us. Don't do that.
The Lakers have no center. This is messed up. This is why they needed Mark Williams from the Hornets. This is gonna come back to haunt. That rescinded trade is gonna come back to haunt these Lakers. What they did to that man, Mark Williams, embarrassed him almost in a way. But this is karma. This is the laws of karma. This is what happens when you embarrass someone and humiliate someone like that. And what they did to Mark Williams, it's gonna come back to haunt you when you don't want it to. And this is what's happening. The Wolves are bigger. They're more. Their chemistry is more in tune. But I know the Lakers will come back with at least a win in the next game. But hey, it could be another. Who knows? It could be another blowout just by the way the Lakers played with no center there.
Do that. Hey, Finney Smith, don't pass that off to Gabe Vincent. Don't pass that off to Luka. No, fight through that.
Yeah.
Them little soft picks they sitting Joe. Come on, bro. You got to go harder than that now, because it's easy. Oh, you just back away. You go ahead and take it. That's what Ant want. And you see, they keep calling. They keep calling Luka. Nah, we want Luka. And they're going to keep, no matter who he's guarding, they try to put him on the weak. Man, they putting what's old boy name? Rudy Gobert. Man, they bringing Rudy Gobert damn near at the damn half court to set a pick because they're like, hey, we want whoever Luka is guarding, you're going to be the pick guy.
Right.
Or Gabe Vincent, because Gabe is 6 foot tall if we were lucky. And so, but they got to fight. I think they just got to fight hard over the pick. Now, look, if a team going to be knocking down those threes like they're knocking down, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. It's not like the Lakers shot particularly bad from the three, but when you let a team shoot 20, make 21 of them, and they shoot 50%.
Luka had 1 assist this whole game. What's going on here? He's playing watch me basketball. He's playing he's playing hero basketball here. He's got to distribute the ball, distribute the rock more. And I know that he will in the next game, but I think the Wolves will anticipate that. It's a chess match from now on.
They shoot 50% from the floor. Well, you got your work cut out.
They couldn't get no stops. Couldn't get no stops.
Couldn't get none. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. They got.
So if you keep taking the ball out the net, man, it's gonna slow our offense down a little more. They already a little small, so through movement is great for them. So you got to use misses as like fast breaks, and they've been great at that. But hey, man, Timberwolves wasn't missing tonight. Them boys locked in. I liked it. But
the only hey Joe and Unc, the only way the Lakers were gonna find any chance or have any chance of getting back in this game is they were gonna have to steal points in transition. That was the only way, and they weren't able to do that.
Well, they have to get some stops. And like Joe said, when you're taking the ball out of the net, they couldn't get any stops.
Yeah.
Because there was a couple of times they.
I think the Wolves are due for a deep run. Now that Ant has gotten some experience under his belt, a couple good years of experience under his belt. This is who we call MJ's lost son here, like unclaimed son. He's 23 now, 24. I'm not sure, but he's got all the experience under his belt now, and this might be Ant's time now. It really could be. However, obviously we got OKC to go through. You got the winner of Denver and Clippers to go through, and you got them Rockets and Warriors the winner of that series to go through. So I'm not counting the Lakers out yet, but the way how they looked so disorientated outside in this game, it was troubling. But let's hope they get it together and make this a series.
forced to miss it, but you don't realize you've done nothing until you gain possession of the basketball. So even if you force a miss, if you don't gain possession of the basketball, you've done absolutely nothing.
Right.
And they wind them down a couple of times late in the clock, and they hit some threes, Joe. You know, it's demoralizing, especially in your building. If you wind them down and you got them shooting the ball with 1-2 seconds on the clock, and they splashing threes or they're making outstep, I mean, you're like, damn, well, what I got to do, bro? I bet, come on now. We don't wind them down. We took them out, grind them to the nub, and they ain't making shots like that. They got a big boost. DiVincenzo hit that shot at right there at the half. That was a big, yeah, that was a.
Those buzzer shots, those buzzer beaters at the halftime, those are just momentum boosts and momentum killers for the opposite team. I found that, and I always find coming out in the next quarter, it can go bad for the team that's got that shot against them.
The big boost going in for them because at that point they were down 8. Now they go down 11, and to start the third, they go on like a 10-2 run. Mm-hmm. So now all of a sudden, what could have been an 8-point game is now a 21-point lead. But they've got to do a better job of look at this. Rui minus 26, LeBron minus 22. Jackson Hayes only played 8 minutes. He was minus 11. Luka minus 12. AR minus 25. Dorian Finney-Smith minus 11. Vanderbilt minus 2.
Let's not go through so many.
How do you get a screenshot that looks like?
So, I mean, we got the general vibe of what Shannon Sharp thinks. Let's see what Stephen A has to say. So we went from Skip to Shannon. Now let's go to Stephen A. Smith. Or do we want to go to Colin? Let's go to Colin.
Series lead. I thought it was really obvious. You saw this a lot today where the underdog Pistons come in with a ton of energy, outplay the Knicks a little bit early, but eventually ton of early energy. Minnesota reminds me a little bit of a more functional, better coached version of Memphis. We have a dominating defensive big size, Rudy Gobert, Zach Edey, like a really big rim protector. You got a lot of athletes. You got kind of a tough guy in Randall or Desmond Bain. You got a dynamic player, Ja Morant, and Ant Edwards. Ant's obviously the better player right now and had a great year shooting a three. Minnesota's more well coached. But you got some length, you have some athletes, and one really dynamic athlete. But I thought the difference in the game was just the Lakers did not play with a lot of physicality and a lot of intensity. I didn't think they had any rhythm offensively, and that can happen as a favorite in game one. But you figure by the third quarter, the fourth quarter, they just never had it. They just didn't have it. And J.J. Redick complained about it. They had it maybe briefly in the third quarter. But, did they have 3 straight possessions where you felt like the Lakers had a really good offensive rhythm? Certainly, I don't remember in the second half that happening. They played, I think, with a little bit more energy and physicality. But again, Minnesota here's all week. They're going to get beaten 4 or 5 games. They come out, and they did a great job of attacking the basket, getting the ball out to open three-point shooters, and they hit over 50%. And they just got a lot of good open looks. Sorry to interrupt this great video, but please remember to like and subscribe. Thankfully, better than you would expect. Ant's Ant. But I thought overall, I kept waiting for the Lakers' rhythm and the Lakers' intensity kind of to take a next level pop, and Austin Reeves didn't do anything. Luka scored a ton, but LeBron was okay, but I just didn't feel it. It's just one of those things. The favorite came in
those games
and got outplayed and outworked, and I thought
they got out-twerked. That's what happened. The Lakers got out-twerked, and sad to say, they got ramsacked by the visiting Timberwolves, who were written off for this series, and this is a series that could go to 7 now. Or the Wolves could just run the Lakers right out of both buildings in 5 or 6. Just because this could be Ant's time now. This could be Ant-Man's time. So LeBron, 40-year-old LeBron, better not hope that Ant-Man has finally come out of his shell. Because otherwise, it's going to be a long summer in Cancun for the Lake Show.
Obvious that the Timberwolves were unfazed and unbothered about starting this series against the Lakers in LA. But how do you explain them going into that arena and blowing out LeBron and Luka?
They got on their ass like back pockets defensively. That's what they did. And a pair of apple bottoms. And listen, it started with Anthony Edwards. They had him uncomfortable, Reeves, the entire night. They were pressuring up. They were physical with him. They were communicating on switches. They did a great job of sliding their puppies all across the board. And here's the one thing that J.J. Redick didn't say in his interview. He didn't say, I got to hold myself accountable for his defensive scheme. Because over the last 2 months, what J.J. and the Lakers do defensively is they load up boxes and elbows, and they dare teams to make three-point shots. And that's exactly what this professional team did today in the Minnesota Timberwolves. They have shot makers. Jay McDaniels have made threes in the playoffs before. He did it last year. Naz Reid is known for knocking down three-point shots. Anthony Edwards had a career year from the three-point line. So now J.J. Redick has to go back to the drawing board and make an in-series adjustment. What are you going to do? Are you going to play Jackson Hayes more minutes? Are you not going to play the small ball lineup so much? How can I get LeBron James going even more? Maybe try him on the low block to create mismatches so he could punish the smaller.
I will be back in a few minutes, but I will leave this running for the viewers of this live stream.
Guys, whatever it is, that was a total team loss all across the board, not just the players, but on J.J. Redick as well.
So to your point, 21 for 42 is what Minnesota shot from 3, and Naz Reid was 6 of 9 off the bench. He finished with 23. Speaking of points, though, let's go to L.A. for a second. We mentioned how few points they scored in this game, especially since LeBron and Luka have been together. Everyone believes that Luka and LeBron can lead a team, obviously, deep into the playoffs, but they're going to need some help. It may not be the same person every night, but they're going to have someone else pull some of that scoring load. Is it Austin Reeves, or has it got to be somebody else here?
Look, Eves, I said this before the postseason, and I was called everything but a child of God. LeBron James and Luka are the best players on the Lakers. We know this. Austin Reeves is the most important player on the Lakers, especially to their success. When Austin Reeves scores 20 or more, the Lakers were 27-9 in the regular season. Austin Reeves has to get going. Because you're asking LeBron James to do so much, at times he's playing the center position. Now you need that secondary ball handler and playmaker to not only go out there and get his, but create for others. And that's what the Minnesota Timberwolves did a great job of as well, is taking Austin Reeves completely out of the game. He made some shots late in the fourth, but again, it was out of control at that point.
All right, Perk. Appreciate the context as always. Quick question, real talk. When was the last time you saw some apple-bottom jeans?
Back in like 2003 when my wife had them on when I first walked up to her and told her I wanted to holler at her.
Oh. But the real question is, did she have on boots with the fur? My man Perk, we'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, later.
The new bad boys, what they gonna do at MSG?
You know, that's a good question because the last time the Pistons won a rope.
Well, alrighty. That Clippers Nuggets game was pretty crazy, but you know what? I think we'll go through the highlights. So Clippers Nuggets, let's check it out.
Peyton Manning was there. Clippers up as many as 15 in this one, but jumping to the fourth, Nuggets down just 3, and Jamal Murray says, no correction, it's a tie game at 81. All right. Well, ensuing Clippers possession, same score. Nick Batum says, no, actually, we're up 3. Nails that. Now watch this. Nikola Jokic gets tangled up with Derrick Jones Jr. under the basket. The Joker thought it was a foul. And look at him get to the ref and get into it. You know what that's going to do? Big T. Boom. Technical as Jokic was furious. Tried to get a few words in, and he got teed up. Later in the fourth, Nuggets down 4. Here's Murray.
I love Jokic, man. He gets furious.
Again with the 3 at a.
Oh, and guys, if you can like and subscribe this podcast, I'd really appreciate it. I'm trying to build this channel up and, trying to get going here.
Shooting night to start, but started picking it up in the fourth, and Nuggets down 1. Under 4 minutes to go. Christian Brown, the miss, but Russell Westbrook clean up on all 5. Lays it in. Nuggets up 1. Over a minute to go. Clips down 1. He gets a Zubats, the floater, and Aaron Gordon called for goaltending right there. What do you think? Yeah, okay, all right. Clips up again, 1. Under 40 seconds to go. Murray, guarding Kawhi. And watch that, he rips at the ball, and it goes out of bounds on Leonard. That is not what you usually see from Kawhi, and you could see it all over his face, like, that's not me. Yo, it was there. Nuggets get the ball back. 30 seconds left. Jokic pulling past to Russell Westbrook. Corner 3. Got it. Jokic said that's who he is. And watch this. Look at how open Russ was on this one. Clearly they didn't respect the 3, but Peyton Manning, he does. He likes that. Ensuing Clippers possession. Clips down 2. James Harden with the floater. And game tied at 98. Under 10 seconds to go. Jokic. Over to Westbrook. Trying to get that shot off. Can he do it? What? Can't get it off before time expires. That's the Russell Westbrook experience in a nutshell. We head to overtime. Over 3 minutes to go in OT. Nuggets up 1. Murray gets it in the paint. Floater. Got it. Nuggets go up 3. He had 21 on the night. Clips down. Not anymore. Harden getting it in there. Clips cut the lead to 1. And then Jokic to Brown. Gets the 3. Nuggets go up 4. Jokic, a team-high 12 helpers, under 40 seconds to go. Clips down 4. Chris Dunn comes up with the steal, and this ball's going to find its way to James Harden. Oh, you know what he can do from 3. Clips down 1, had 32 points on the night, did James Harden. But 10 seconds left, Nick Batum trying to inbound to Harden, and guess who steps in and caught the TO? Russell Westbrook. He said later, I just know that play from actually being a Clipper for the last 2 seasons. And Westbrook's hype, Harden frustrated. Westbrook bringing the D at the end to cause the turnover. Nuggets go on to win in OT, 112 to 110. They take a 1-0 series lead. And here's Jokic on his team's performance.
I think this is how we want to play. We want to play rough. We want to play a nasty game. So this is what we did. They jumped on us in the first half. I think we reacted, and they probably overreacted, and we pushed it back. So
Jokic wants to play a nasty game.
This is how our standard needs to be like this.
It was turnovers that was just, unforced. That's the game right there. It's nothing they did, it's us, all us. It's a little frustrating, just because it's self-inflicted and it's something that, we've been really good at, but even kill, come back in game 2, be ready to go, be even better.
Saturday was just the beginning of the Bucks-Pacers first-round playoff series. Dame Lillard, Giannis.
Bucks and Pacers, let's go.
Dame not playing, but he's expected to play in the series. That's Caitlin Clark, WNBA Rookie of the Year. Starts her season in 4 weeks. So off the miss by Giannis, Andrew Nembhard. Oh, okay. Little Euro step. Pacers up 4. And then here in the second quarter, Nembhard still in his motion.
Playoff Nembhard is a thing.
How about a little 2-man game with Miles Turner? See that pass one more time. So 3 minutes to go before the half. Pacers are up 14. Turner with the block. We're going the other way. Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin.
That was sick.
3-ball corner pocket.
Montreal stand up, baby.
Turner had 4 blocks in the game. Pacers led the Bucks in transition. They outscored them 17-1. Indiana's up big at the half. Now, check out Pascal Siakam here. So he loses it. Giannis recovers and pushes.
Nice. Steal.
Siakam comes back and gets it.
3. Boom.
And then knocks down the 3. He had 25 points, 10 of 15 shooting. His 6th 25-point game in the playoffs is joining the Pacers.
steal.
Mathurin up ahead to Obi Toppin. Yeah, you get the feeling this is a rout. 22 fast break points for the Pacers. They're up 25.
I like the Pacers.
Then Halliburton drives, gets fouled. Now, all of a sudden, he starts getting into it with Dame. Wow. Again, Dame wasn't playing. You seen that nice little Louis Vuitton sweater. Little talk back and forth.
A little talky talk.
Siakam's into it. Everybody's like, point, go away. They win it easily. We're already ready for game 2.
It's a lot of talking. At the end of the day, I just want to hoop. I want to play ball, and obviously, we know it's the playoffs and it's extra, and all of that. But I'm focused on the game. Like I want us to trying to go out there and win games and do it the hard way and do it, together. All the other stuff is, it's not my focus.
In order for us to win the series, we got to win on the road. So simple. We just got to figure out the way to win. And the moment we watch film, we're going to figure out the way, and then we're going to come back.
All right, so Indy's 19-point win Saturday was its 3rd largest in a game 1 of a series in franchise history. The other two were 1998 and 1999. Pacers reached the conference.
So I want to see LeBron's post-game reaction, because this man is interesting when it comes to this man. You can read him like a book. He's very, very, very interesting.
LeBron, you've been through more game 1s than anybody. What after a game like this, where it's a big score line at home, what's the kind of the proper way to try and respond from that mentally, physically, and all of it?
Well, obviously, we got to do a better job of controlling the controllables, and I don't think we did a good enough job after the first quarter. Once they blitzed us in that second quarter, 38-20. But, giving up 21 threes, giving up 20-plus fast break points, second chance points, those are some of the things that we can control. Obviously the three-point shooting, we know they have a lot of lasers. They have a lot of guys that can shoot from the perimeter. So we got to do a better job of closing the bodies and getting out on shooters. So, we'll get back in the film room tomorrow, look at the things that we did well, some of the things.
And JJ mentioned that they felt like one of the factors tonight was the physicality being something that maybe caught you guys early on in the game. Were there any things that you saw that gave you belief that you figured out how to counter that as the game went on that you can take into game 2?
Well, definitely. No, when you play in a Minnesota team, they're going to be physical. That's what they bring to the table. Maybe it took us one playoff game to now get a feel for it and know what the type of intensity, the type of physicality that's going to be brought to the game, but that's just the way they play. So we should be more than prepared for that on Tuesday night.
LeBron, obviously you guys are going to meet game 2 with a sense of urgency, but what's sort of the right approach to a game 2 when you're down 0-1 in terms of still being calm and understanding kind of the
LeBron might go for 35 next game. Book that.
The big picture of things, while also knowing that it's obviously an incredibly important game.
No, we understand that. They took home court from us tonight, as far as the series, but, we have an opportunity to even the series out on Tuesday, and we have to play a much better game than we did today. Like I said, we have to control the controllables, and if we do that, we're going to give ourselves a much better chance to win than we did tonight.
You mentioned one of the first answers there, the Timberwolves 20-plus fast break.
Later on in the what they were bringing to the table.
To your right, when you talk about controlling the controllables in the second and third quarter, what comes to mind at those times?
Offensive rebounds, giving up open shots to lasers.
Minnesota was able to kind of penetrate, drive and kick. They converted a lot on those corner threes and things of that nature. How much of that was just a team getting hot and hitting their shots, and how much of that is part of the controllables and things that you can prevent?
We're going to look at the film and break it down. There's some that was just great plays by them. We're all NBA players. We know how to make plays. Some of the things we could have control, but we'll watch the film and see ways we could be better with our rotations going into game 2.
LeBron, the Timberwolves scored 18 points off turnovers compared just to 9 by the Lakers. How do you think the team can do a better job managing that in the upcoming games?
Well, obviously, taking care of the ball versus a team like this is very important. But anytime you're in the postseason, you got to take care of the ball, And if you turn the ball over, you got to try your best to get back, in transition and not allow them to get points. Like you said, they had 18 points off our 13 turnovers, and we only had 9 off their 10. So we got to do a much better job of trying to turn them over, and at the same time, do a better job of protecting the ball, and not having as many turnovers for us, especially at home. I appreciate it.
He's still not pissed off LeBron. So let's see what these boys
Stop
say.
using ChatGPT like everyone else and do this instead. To the men over 50 who don't know how to use AI.
Ant, you are Jaden McDaniels' biggest fan. Just like, what did you see from him tonight in the way that he took control and did exactly what you needed from him?
He had ultra confidence. That's what we talked about to start the week. And he's 6'11" and has everything that a person who's 6'2" has in his game. So, I mean, as long as he trusts himself,
Jaden McDaniels is 6'11"?
Even the coaching staff, the whole organization. So, he's just being Jaden McDaniels.
Coach was saying that you were very vocal at halftime. Just what were you feeling as you went into the locker room? What were you trying to convey to the team to come out of it strong?
Just some of the reads that we was able to make on the offensive end. Going into the second half, I was telling my teammates on how we could space the floor to hurt them, and we did that in the third, coming right out, and that's how we got that big lead, spacing the floor the right way. Because they tilt the floor heavy on me and Julius, so just being able to make the right reads all throughout the night.
Julius, what do you think kind of flipped this game? What are maybe one or two things you guys did in that second quarter, third quarter that kind of turned the game on its head for you guys?
I think it was really just our defense. Like, obviously, Luka, he got off to the hot start, hit a couple threes.
6'9".
But once we were able to slow them down and really defend, we blew the game open. Was able to get in transition a little bit, and then
Randall looks happy playing alongside Edwards, so I'm happy to see
tried to
that.
tilt the
Randall
floor, so
seems like
we just gotta make the right plays.
dude, but
Nas
in
was
his
just
head-
talking about your
in his own
leadership,
head
and he said you would think that you were 30 years old at times with the way you lead in the locker room. Where are you at with that at this point in your career, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, in terms of communicating with your teammates on that level?
Just knowing, I mean, it's 15 grown men in the locker room, and knowing how to, everybody got emotions, knowing how to talk to everybody. Everybody can't, you can't, deliver a message the same way to 1 through 15. You know what I'm saying? So some guys I gotta talk to, pull them to the side. Some guys I can cuss at them. Some guys I gotta, just different ways, man. And I think not being afraid of doing that, I think that's the main thing. I stepped into that role, and my teammates trust me and they listen. So it's a privilege to have guys like that.
And you talked this week during practice about a couple of ideas of how they might guard you or guard you guys as a team. How did what you were kind of picturing versus what they threw at you, how'd that look?
It was similar. It was similar to Phoenix, but I will say they. I'm not gonna get.
thank you to the viewers of this stream. I hope you like, subscribe.
Julius,
and
for
come
you
back
too,
for
like offensively reading where your
tomorrow's
offense was going
slate
to
of
come from
games.
as a scorer
I'll
and
be finishing
playmaker.
up
How
the
did that
stream
settle in
very
over the
soon.
course of the game?
It was good. It was good. Second half was better. I think just for myself, I had just way too many turnovers. And I think, as well as we played for myself individually, I feel like that's where I can clean up. But it was good. It was just finding open spaces on the floor. We knew how they were going to defend us defensively, so I knew when Ant had the ball where to be, and he did a great job. He had like 8 or 9 assists, tonight. And that's what facts, and that's what Coach said he needed. At the beginning of the.
Boom, baby, boom. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that stream. I'll be back for more post-game live streams tomorrow. So please join me, and hope you all have a wonderful Easter weekend and peaceful holiday with your loved ones.